What do you guys think?
I suppose. I mean, if we have to.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, yeah, even though it's nice talking to you guys, and like, and at this point, even if we didn't play Star Trek, I would still want to hang out with you guys. Yeah.
I'll hang out with 33% of you anytime.
Yeah, truly. I mean, Kyle's invited to my wedding. I mean, so are you guys, but it's probably going to be a Oh yes. Hey Kyle, how often do you get out to Victoria Island, or never?
I mean, I don't personally go there often because I don't care, but I do work over there every now and then. But I can easily get there. It's a ferry.
Right.
Are you having a destination wedding in my city?
I was thinking about it. I honestly, we've been to Vancouver, we've been to Victoria Island. We had a fantastic time the last time we went. And on Victoria Island, they have a really nice not resort, but like a really big like a hotel. I've been to the beach at Victoria Island. Like we went in August, and it was like really really nice.
Yeah,
it was just it was like a little cold, but like yeah, literally. We did like I went paddleboarding there for the first time. It was really really good.
I'm not gonna say no to not having to travel for a wedding, but don't let my comfort be your deciding factor.
Well, no. Yeah, literally the fact that you live there is just bonus. I promise. Like it's just we've been to Victoria. We went to Victoria Island. We had an amazing time. You know the one hiking trail that you guys have there, and there's like a railway trestle there.
Again, I've only ever done a few jobs over on Vancouver Island.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah. So we went hiking there, and there was this big railway trestle, like a bunch of wooden slats crossing like a gorge. I hiked across that shit. It was like 400 feet high. I fell down on the trestle. My head went over the side, and my head was in open air, looking down. It was a great time. So, yes, almost dying. Yeah, literally. I was with Matt's parents, and Matt's mom went when I fell. I tripped because it's a railway trestle, so there's these big like long sort of wooden and then there's gaps in between. Yeah. So you have to step over the gaps. It's like, and it's fucking scary. And I tripped. Anyway, but yeah, so we were thinking about doing that there or going to France.
Or going to France.
Yeah, one of the two. Or,
they're basically the same thing.
I mean, yeah, north of France, Victoria Island, basically the same. Anyway.
I will travel anywhere in the continental U.S. or Canada.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't expect
you to go to France the second time in my life.
I wouldn't expect you to travel all the way to France, but yeah, all right. Yeah, let's get started. Let me get an intro together here. Give me 1 second. Perfect. Anybody have anything that they want to say before we get going? Or no?
Dicky Boogie Doug.
Yeah. I was just going to say gobbledygook, but...
All right, cool.
Y'all aren't old enough.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't know. Jack, you're either 29 or 59, and it's one of the two.
I think Jack's a year younger than me. No, Jack's older than me. Yes.
Yeah, I am the second oldest person in this campaign, and I'm apparently the only one here who remembers a little wonderful early Flash animation called the Demented cartoon movie.
Yep. You got nothing. Let me do an intro.
I'll just
everybody and
historic memes.
So playing my lower decks.
Please keep talking.
No. Yes, that's why I wanted to hit you before you started because that.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
The players kept cutting off the officer trying to give them their duty for the day. And so eventually I just snapped, literally, the character snapped the pad over his knee, threw it on the table, and walked away. And then I'm like, what's on that? It's like, I don't know. You're going to have to figure that out. They try to fix it. I redact a bunch of the information they needed for the mission. I'm like, it's on you. Carry on.
All right. Hey everyone, and welcome to the USS Guan Yu, a Star Trek Adventures show here on the USS Guan Yu YouTube channel. My name is Tyler. I'm the wonderful game master of this game. We are joined by 3 of our crew members here. Last we left off, we were dealing with some goo again. Lieutenant, what the fuck is her name? Oh, Lieutenant Mitchell was taken over by the psionic entities, the Varank. The Varank made Goo shoot out of her face. It was not a fun time. That was all taken care of. We got everybody all figured out. We finally figured out what causes the goo to leak from people's faces when they get taken over by the Varank. Captain Edwards and Admiral Yannick made the plan to go out to the opening of the fissure, of the vortex, the wormhole, whatever we're calling it, out deep into the Shackleton Expanse. We had a wonderful sign-off that was kind of ruined by my bad timing. It did work eventually, but whatever. And now we're going to go ahead and start off. Yeah, I suppose. So, yeah, we are currently at warp. So let me set my thread up here. There's no momentum for you, and I'm going to say that this will be... You're venturing into unknown territory. You have no idea what lies beyond the quote-unquote explored space of the Shackleton Expanse. Your ship is the only one fitted for this region, and you're not sure what lies past Vanguard. That's the farthest you've been, right here. If I could actually click right here. You guys are going all the way over here to the White Circle. As Captain Edwards pointed out last session, at max warp, I'm talking 9.98, like 9.998.
975.
975, whatever. I was rounding up. It would take 10 whole days at max warp. 8 whole days at max warp to get out to the spatial coordinates that Commander Hagen identified earlier. All right. So with that information being sent, since we only have 3 players here today, I am going to go ahead and mark this as a 4th threat game.
I've never seen
most
a
likely
pool so low.
Yeah. Starting out with a just embarrassing 12 threat. I don't know. I can only do like a quarter of a Borg cube with that amount. So we're on a roll. I leave it. I leave it to Captain Edwards. Are we thinking? The ship is now officially underway. I am going to assume that you are going at max warp. Is that right?
Max warp as long as safe to do so. We are definitely going in uncharted space. I've got sensors pinging off everything. Woodyard should be doing math. I put Creighton down in engineering so Kelly can just focus on whatever Kelly needs to focus on. And I don't actually know if Kestra's been put back on duty from her escapades.
We will go ahead and take that as a yes. That's actually a good question. Captain Hagen, Commander Hagen. Oops, Commander Hagen, you have gotten
I have a briefcase and leave.
Commander Hagen, you have been given provisional clearance by Dr. Grix to return to duty. He has actually provided you, and I will say this is a directive from the acting medical officer on board your ship, to not exert yourself telepathically. What that means is, if you were to do some telepathic shenanigans, meaning to exert yourself in your damaged state, 2 things are going to happen. Number 1, you're going to get a rep ding for disobeying orders. We're making that official. Number 2, you're not sure. Currently at your state, I will say that your telepathy would be what an average telepath, betazoid telepath is. You can do surface level emotions. You can do surface stalks. That's about what you can do without exerting yourself at this point. And I'm going to limit that to a route for you right now, at least for the first couple of days. So that directive stands for you, Hagen, if you wanted to mark that somewhere. For that...
let me just put that in my notes real quick.
Now I remember what I wanted to do. Perfect. You've bought me enough time.
Are we thinking staff meeting, or no? We already had a staff meeting.
Yeah, we kind of flirted through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull. Oh, if I had Woodyard here, I'd pull him in too. I don't, so I'll just pull Kelly in. Kestra's welcome. I mean, we're just hanging out in my ready room, which is technically also working the bridge. So you don't need to be out there.
Ready.
It's 10 feet away.
To the ready room.
Chair.
Hagen, and let's grab a searcher token. One moment here. Edwards, you walk into your ready room for the first time in a while, I will say. You're just underway. I would say you've been at high warp for about, I would say, half an hour at this point. All systems, you see, the Kraden has given you an engineering report that systems are running at peak efficiency, at high warp. The sensors are back online to their fullest potential. All your breaches and everything are gone. I would sure hope so. Go ahead and double check. Nope, you still have sensor breaches, but I will go ahead and remove those. All right. You sit down with your senior staff. Lieutenant Woodyard is currently diving his head into the long-range sensor data, trying to detect any and all sort of hazards in your path.
Oh, we've got a few long days ahead of us. Kelly, what are the chances we can set up a subspace buoy system to ease communication burdens with DS Fortitude? Yannick's going to attempt to send people after us after they try to retrofit their ships to match our capabilities. But if I can give them a trail of breadcrumbs to follow, probably make life a lot easier.
Odds are pretty decent. But wouldn't be difficult to rig up some probes to survive for at least a couple weeks out here.
Well, that's why I freed you up from engineering, so you can get your hands dirty on all manner of little things I think of over the next week.
You're so thoughtful.
How are you feeling, Kestra?
Well, I could be better, but I'm fit for duty, at the very least.
You would tell me that no matter what happened.
Okay, but this time I mean it.
That's the problem. You'd mean it every time. You could be a pile of viscera on the floor, and your disembodied skull would still be trying to say, "Reporting for duty, sir."
And how is Sarah holding up? I know she's head deep on the helm right now, and I think that's her happy place.
She is... Well, I actually haven't had the opportunity to talk to her. We've been busy.
Yeah.
After all this, I think I'm going to request leave for a few weeks.
If I can, I will give the entire ship leave for a month. That being said, Kestra, can you go over the duty rosters, rejig it, make sure everyone's... Let's stay at our 3 shifts, but normally we have Sarah manning the con on Gamma shift, but let's move her over to Alpha just in the interim.
Understood, sir. Wait, aren't we Alpha?
Well, normally I'm Alpha, you're Beta, she's Gamma, for sitting in the big chair.
Right. So switch her to Beta then, not Alpha, because that would put... Where would you go?
Yeah, you know, no. Take her out of the command rotation, stick around beta shift with you. So you
Gotcha.
guys can... I'm ignoring that. Just...
Sorry, I was confused. Tristan was
Yeah.
confused.
No, that's okay. I didn't word it properly. And the... Okay. Edward's just going to get up mid-sentence, walk over to his goddamn replicator.
What
Is it this time?
It has replicated 3 teddy bears. Each of them brown, sort of fur, holding sort of big hearts that say, "I love you" with a WUV.
Uh-huh. I'm going to take the teddy bears out. I'm going to toss 2 of them to my senior staff, toss the other one to the couch, and then just look at the replicator. 20 days.
That's
Just give me 20 days of normal function. Please.
I'm
It's
not
adorable.
kidding. Give me presence con. Difficulty 2?
This is 100% diplomacy. I'm talking to the ship.
Yep.
Reasoning with it. And I don't care. I'm buying one with threat. Please, for the love of
Yeah, all right.
Christ. Just work. I need everyone working.
Yeah. What was Kyle, the captain's crying.
Esther kind of like looks at Kelly and is like, "So what is this?"
Error
That's
in
a teddy. Oh.
bioneural gel pack. Alpha 4 Gamma 8.
Kelly, what is bioneural
Alpha
gel
4,
pack
Gamma
Alpha 4
8?
Gamma 8?
Is there a role for that? Or do I just know offhand because
You would
I
know.
know this ship?
Yeah, you would know. There is in the wall here in the ready room. You know that there's a bioneural gel pack that helps with the computer makeup in the ready room. There's a dedicated one for the ready room itself. And you know, sort of like in the panel right here is where you would find that.
Then ping it again.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Right.
Like right behind his chair.
It's a plush Kestra. You just sort of hug it and it makes you feel better.
She says that, and Nick's gonna grab the other one and hand it to her. Give this one to Sarah. Here.
I'm gonna, take the ships down, set them carefully aside, pop the panel off, and take a look at that gel pack.
A gel pack?
The bioneural gel pack.
Yep, the bioneural gel pack. So to get at the gel pack, there's a power tap in the way. You sort of remember when you deactivate the power tap, this replicator powers down. And you sort of take you open up the coolant casing for the gel pack, and you see inside the gel pack is it's a sort of a very transparent, supposed to be white and clear in there with like a little bit of a shade of green in there. What you see inside the gel pack is a sort of a webbing of dark blue strands, just sort of webbing its way inside of the gel pack. It's I will say that this is something you've not seen.
Captain,
Yep.
for context, I have no idea what I'm looking at here.
Well, it's
That-
bioneural gel
you've
pack
never heard
Alpha
that from-
3 Gamma 1 or whatever it was.
Yeah, you two have never heard that come out of
Yeah.
Serge's mouth. Yeah.
Can I take a scan of it, like a medical scan?
Sure. Go ahead and give me. I'll let this be. So this is.
Reason
It's, no. Yeah, this. I'll give it reason, medicine or reason engineering.
I'll take the medicine.
Right. Go ahead and make a scan. I'll say that this is going to be, since it's just a medical scan, difficulty 1.
Okay. That I'm gonna spend a momentum to get a dice.
Okay.
So this is like bioneural gel pack, yes?
It is.
Would xenoneurology apply?
Xenoneurology in this case would apply.
Okay. And paka. Hey.
All right. That is 3 momentum generated. I will tell you this right now. You have seen life readings like this before. So number one, 95% of the gel pack is healthy and perfectly fine. It doesn't read as a life sign, but it reads as sort of biomimetic material. It's sort of, just a way to increase processing power throughout the ship, using organic membranes as the conductor of the electricity and of computer sort of circuitry. The 5% that is sort of, you see clearly, sort of this webbing of blue, sort of fractal-like material. You have seen life signs like this before, and you saw them on my homeworld in the tanks in the my computer room.
Like the Baronk?
No, the my.
So most of the gel pack is fine, but I check it, and I check it again. 5% of it is reading as my.
Of course it is. Can you safely disconnect it and help it?
Can I? Is
Disconnecting the gel pack should be relatively simple. I mean, the stuff inside isn't like going to decay if we cut power to it. It'll be fine for, got a shelf life of what, like 30, 40 years. The question we need to be asking is, what exactly is this doing to the ship?
well, so far it seems to be messing with our replicators.
Specifically, my crippling caffeine addiction.
Okay, but consider everything that replicator has done. It produced a live snake. It produced a copy of my head that displayed rudimentary sapience. We might be looking at a mind.
Is that what I'm seeing here?
You are. Go ahead and spend a momentum, and I will give you some insight into this.
Okay.
Everything that's been said makes logical sense. You truly have no way of knowing, right? But, I mean, you're a doctor. You know the attributes of sentience. It's up to you whether or not you think it's a life.
If the answer to this is yes, it's fine. Would just like, do I sense any kind of consciousness here be considered straining myself?
You are more than welcome to find out.
Captain, I would like to point out something.
Please.
You asked it for normal operation, pointed itself out.
Yep. Let's just ask it.
I do the barest brush of just how many consciousnesses can I feel in this room right now?
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and.
Now, this is not this is a thing that any Betazoid would be able to tell you, is how many people are in the room.
At the surface, including yours, 3. You yourself, Captain Edwards, and Kelly. It's to answer your question.
Yes.
Using your background abilities, which are, like I mentioned at the start, you cannot detect another consciousness to the level that you or the other people in the room. You're more than welcome to closely investigate this one and focus your senses on it. There would be a roll with a complication risk attached.
I was given a direct order not to strain myself telepathically, and she is not a hypocrite. She will follow the doctor's orders.
All right.
Well, it's not conscious, at least not in the way that you or I are.
Why would it consider itself aberrant?
Well, I mean, I hold up the bioneural gel pack. That's not what a bioneural gel pack is supposed to look like. By definition, it is aberrant.
But why would it consider itself as such?
Maybe it contains enough awareness to understand that it's not supposed to be here?
Do you have any idea what that takes, the level of self-awareness, not just in terms of, oh, I'm alive, but in self-reflection it takes to understand that?
I'm not saying it's not intelligent. I am saying that it's... If it's intelligent, it's not awake like you or I are. It's impulse and instinct. But the Mai are much more complex than you or I can... Wait a moment.
Why don't we just ask it?
Well,
What I was thinking.
the Mai haven't had a corporeal form for how long?
Millennia, at least.
Several millennia. Yeah.
We are looking at a physical Mai.
Okay. Well, it seems to respond to basic replicator commands, so it is listening.
Maybe we can plug it into a console? An isolated console?
What I was
I don't
thinking.
want to... We could unplug it.
Captain, I'd like your permission to do something a little... me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to isolate one of the holodecks, plug this in, and see what happens.
I assumed you already owned one entirely. I never seem to see anyone on the books for Holodeck 3.
Well...
It was a joke.
Alright.
Yes, go ahead and take Holodeck 3. And if you can do it safely without injuring the possible life form in the bioneural gel pack, by all means.
No, obviously, it's a potential life form. We will take every possible precaution.
Yeah, I just needed to say it out loud so I know what I'm dealing with.
What you're dealing with, Captain, is professionals. I'm gonna get to work.
I think I've
Well,
ever seen
that's-
professional in any of our crew manifest.
Excuse me, I'm very professional.
Yeah, seriously. Kestra's the most straight-laced one here.
Yeah.
And she
Okay.
Brain melting notwithstanding.
Take care of the entity. Figure out why A, how it got here. B, what it needs from us, because it's clearly been asking for help for a while. And we have been ignoring it as a running joke.
I
All right.
consistently said that someone needed to figure out what was going on with the replicator. Just wanted to put that out there.
And I should point out that growth, that's kind of new. That should have showed up on a routine. That should have showed up on a routine inspection, and it didn't until now.
And I know you've torn this entire replicating system apart.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So it also has the potential to be able to move from system to system to avoid detection until now.
Or it simply hadn't grown to be visible.
Okay. I'm gonna name it Jerry, and you guys are gonna figure out why.
Why you named it Jerry?
Dismissed. He just rubs the bridge of his nose, chuckling to himself.
Right.
Well, why did we name it Jerry?
And with that, we cut to the next scene. That'll be our honeycomb joke. Let's holodeck.
Vincent,
None of you are here. Who's going with Kelly?
the doc.
I'll go with.
All right. Just
You will follow up in 15 to 20 minutes.
ready. Cool. Y'all head to the holodeck. What are you
Saoirse
doing?
is going
Yeah.
to Saoirse is going to contact Creighton and get an engineering team to help her isolate the holodeck.
On it. I don't know your name. Go up to the. Okay. Yep, he's gone. Down the way, and then you see Lieutenant Dune come up and say, "All right, give me 20 seconds." And he reaches his hand inside of the holodeck, turns off the computer controls. I'm assuming you want to keep safety protocols on, right?
Obviously, yeah. We just need all computer processing information halted. Nothing in or out. Physically isolate the holodeck systems.
Well, then that means you need to generate a scene before I lock it out, because I can set a scene and then freeze it and allow you to manipulate it without computer control. But if I turn off computer control, you won't be able to generate anything.
All right, give us a nice sunny beach.
All right.
Seemed comforting for sunny.
Enter when ready.
All right.
You are on a white sand beach, on an alien world.
All right, let's get that gel pack plugged in.
All right. Where are you plugging it in at? Into the holodeck controls?
Yep.
Okay. You see that there is there is a binaural gel pack set for each holodeck. You see that there's one fully functioning one. You open up, move the power taps out of the way, open up the cold storage area for it. You see a perfectly wonderful and lovely binaural gel pack. To you, unless you're gonna try to jerry rig a second one in here, you would need to remove this one and insert.
Yeah, we're just gonna do a hot swap.
No roll required here for this. You very carefully unplug the neural circuitry. You pull it out. You see it goes from sort of taut to limp as no power goes through it, and it sort of is like still gelatinous, but it's a little bit more runny inside. There is sort of in the hallway, you grab a cart that's sort of an external cold storage, and you can plug it into a power system in there. Just power fluctuations with binaural gel packs are a little wonky, so you plug that back in. You put Jerry into the slot, plug it, and play. The scene freezes. Sort of the wind, you can see the wind stop. The trees are like you see that they sort of stop with sort of a wind blowing through them, but they're just sort of blown to the side. The scene shifts. You see the water start to go from... It starts getting colder and colder in here. You see clouds form above you. The clouds form above you really quick. You get like a burst of thunder above you. It rains for a half second. The rain all sort of drenches you. And then the clouds move away. The ocean goes frozen and then thaws and then recedes away and then goes back to normal. The sand becomes sort of, instead of being granular, it's just a hill, like a solid hill, and then sort of becomes even more granular. It takes about a minute for the program to stabilize again. The holodeck now appears to be functioning. The wind resumes. The sun sort of beats down on your face. What do you do?
Can you hear us?
Are you there?
You do not hear a response. The sand, you see the wind shifts directions. Just a little bit of a breeze. It's like a cold draft hits you, and then goes back to normal.
Think that was a yes?
Maybe. Do you think maybe providing it more biomimetic gel might help?
I'm
You hear
not sure.
You hear a distant clash of thunder, but no clouds in sight.
What? Do one clash of thunder for yes. Was that a yes?
Give me give me control con difficulty of 1.
Control, con, diff 1, diplomacy?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Alrighty. Take a threat.
Alright. One moment generated. You don't hear another clap of thunder. The wind shifts directions again. You sort of hear like the sound of wind in an almost like comic book way. You hear like a the wind sort of pushing through you. It kind of like takes you aback. It's silent for a moment and just sort of goes back to silence. You see after you guys sort of sit there for a bit, the scene sort of starts collapsing around you. The sun goes away, and in like a couple of seconds, the scene fades, and you just see the structure of the holodeck around you.
I think it's learning what it can do with the holodeck. I mean, we did just basically unplug something from a replicator and plug it into whatever you imagine comes true. I mean, that's a bit of a leap.
Yes, I agree.
In front of you stands a replicator.
Comfort zone, huh?
You see... Oh, sorry, I just wrong button. You see a tray of cookies. Sort of... Just... They're weird... It's like they're steaming, too. Sort of... They're big, sort of comically large chocolate chip cookies. Appears in the replicator.
Thank you. I go up and I touch a cookie.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because it feels like a cookie, but and you know, you've eaten holographic food before in a holodeck.
Yeah.
You get sort of the taste of it, but it does you swallow it and it just kind of goes away.
Right.
I think holodecks can actually replicate food.
Yeah.
Oh, then it goes down normally as a cookie. A replicated cookie, but still a cookie. Well, actually, so no.
It depends on which episode you watch, because like Tom Paris said, well, it's replicated wine. It's holographic wine, Harry. You can't get drunk, and then otherwise they're like having a grain meal because replicators are a thing. So it is whatever you need it to be today.
Yeah.
But
this is a shark.
This is an isolated holodeck, which means it technically wouldn't have access to the replicator systems.
True that.
So it is holographic.
Yes.
The replicator stands. Hagen, you almost think you can sense like a sort of anticipation from nowhere in particular, frankly.
Do you want something? If there's something we can do for you, please.
I think you're asking the wrong question.
It replicates... You see it replicates a holographic sort of... You know that it's holographic because you're in a holodeck. It replicates a... It looks like... You guys haven't used them in a while, but it looks like one of those things you put on your chest that generates a personal field.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
it's so you know the equipment. It's you can have like a personal shield generator that sort of
Yeah.
creates a field around you. It looks like the apparatus that you have to wear in order to have that. Like to equip it, it's like the little like circular thing that you snap onto your chest in order for it to generate the force field. Does that make sense?
So I
Okay.
pick up the thing.
I suspect the intent is to communicate that they want to protect us.
Oh, metaphorical thought.
Well, if you were a replicator, how would you communicate?
Fair. It's not exactly my strong suit. Okay. You know what's coming, don't you?
What replicates is man, that's a difficult question to put in metaphorical terms.
Yeah, it's a shame they can't replicate magnetic letters like we have back in Earth for kids to write words on the fridge.
Where's the fun in that?
I know.
Yes, it prints out a piece of a page that says yes in paper.
Oh, it just replicates a 90s printer.
Yeah. Actually, it replicates, and you hear the replicator cycle go through, and nothing generates. I will say.
I suspect that means that, no. Doesn't know what's coming. But I believe that it's able to interpret through the interactions it observes from us that what's coming is danger.
Does this make the third or the fourth time we've created an intelligent life?
It on the word danger, it replicates one of those sort of generates an old like recruitment poster for like one of the old Earth militaries.
We want you.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You want to?
Go ahead, Jim.
No, sorry. On your question, Hagen, it generates a bobblehead shaking up and down.
Do I have an inkling of how it could help?
Also, we have proved definitively that it is capable of replicating momentum.
Well, it would
Nodding
have
of
to
the
be.
head. Exactly, but no, we can fill our pool.
Well-
Have it generate 4 more.
Hey, after you ask it that, the scene shifts again. You see a holographic image appear of it's a vessel that is very dynamic in its movement. It has sort of these I don't want to say tentacles, but it has these sort of control surfaces that almost look like it's propelling itself like an octopus through space. You see a pointed head. You see a sort of dome on the top of it that's sort of that looks kind of like a command bridge, and you see some sort of invisible force impacting its shield. You see, like, you know how you're going when you get, like, when something hits the shield, right? You can see, like, the disturbance of it.
Right.
It's so disturbed, the shield boundary is, that you can see it sort of taking an assault from all sides. The shields stay up. You see another ship loom in. You see a big sort of boxy polyhedral shape. Not a cube, not a sphere. Many-sided.
But the Borg assimilator, then.
Yeah, no. It's sort of a black, inky black sort of ship, propelling itself in much the same way. They sort of pass by each other, and where you would expect to see weapons fire, you just see each of their shield boundaries taking some sort of invisible assault. You see that the sort of bluish white ship, all of a sudden you see no boundary around the ship, and the ship compresses and explodes.
That's a memory?
No. Does this feel like, to me, the same way I felt looking at that tear? Like, something's gonna come through and it's gonna squish us flat.
You're about the image, or what's being displayed in the image?
What's being
yeah, so you're not feeling anything. So basically, to break it down, there's some sort of force being put on shields. The shields seem to be resistant to that until they go down and the ship gets crumpled. You see on the black ship, you see vague, dark black, jet black, inky, sort of humanoid silhouettes. And you see force radiating off of their heads, of what you can see as their heads. Kelly, give me an insight security roll, difficulty 2.
Okay, insight security. That's not great.
I will let your I will let you. So your background that me and you discussed is allowing this roll to happen, and you would use your espionage focus.
All right, on it. Have a threat for a dice.
Right.
With my nice shiny new bold security.
Oh my
Well,
god.
shit.
Jesus Christ, come on. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you did that. Kelly,
3, 2, 1, plot.
yeah.
Look,
Kelly,
at this point, Kelly's
yeah.
middle name might as well be Mary Sue.
Literally. You remember seeing top secret schematics. Actually, Kelly, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take you to a sidebar.
Oh,
I can't
Her
record
secrets,
sidebars.
gross shit.
I'm so sorry. That's fine.
I'll just take my headset off, kick everyone else out.
All right. Well, yeah. Go to the other chat. Or wait. Yeah. Everybody. So everybody who's not Jack and Kyle, that means Trev and Tristan. I need you to. Yeah.
I got them.
Yeah.
I'll be over here. Message me.
Okay. I will.
Speak to me of the dark
So-
secrets.
this is bringing up your dagger training. One aspect of your background is on the bleeding edge of top secret weapons development. That was one of these sectors that Dagger controls because Dagger needed to be on the front line of stuff that they might experience with external cultures that are newly discovered.
Yeah.
This appears to you like you remember an agent who was on his way out creating basically like a napkin sketch for psionic shielding. This sort of what you see in this image, you get a very brief glimpse at the shield geometry. It reeks of that. Something very similar to what you've seen.
Okay.
What I will tell you, that was a need to know basis, and that has not been declassified. That would be compartmentalized information, and I'm going to tell you that there is a standing directive for you regarding your dagger stuff. Unless your sort of life depends on it, that stuff stays shut. Because we don't want to, because Starfleet doesn't want to release this to any of the other factions around them, and definitely doesn't want to show that to external species.
Yeah, and we've got a Romulan operative on board now.
Yep. So I leave how you deal with that up to you. Could be pertinent to your mission, could not be. But you're running into a lot of psionic threats out here, and this has sort of jogged your memory.
Okay.
Alright? I'm going to bring everybody back.
Copy that.
I shall pull them back. Which you know you also have that power.
Oh. Can I? How do I do that?
Yeah, you can just drag them down. Like icons
Literally?
on the desktop. Yep.
Holy crap! That's so cool!
Yeah.
Anyway.
How do you think I kick you into the litter box every now and then when I'm bored?
But yeah. The sort of scene ends. The replicator stands ready. Yeah. It's there. What do you guys do?
So there is a vibe Kestra is picking up off of Sersha. And that vibe is both a steel wall and one of Sersha's ingenuity kind of kicking into overdrive.
Yeah. Hagen gets that immediately. You feel that I'll say, you feel that radiating off of Kelly for a matter of moments, and then you feel something sort of push that aside, and it's the old Kelly. How does...
Tristan?
Oh, yeah, Tristan, are you there? Aw.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Now.
Okay, I don't know what was happening. Everything was. You were not hearing me. I was saying. Kelly, are you okay?
What?
What? I'm. There's a vibe here. Are you okay?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just
Now I'm
thinking.
very
is all.
worried about it. I've never been more worried now. Anything you'd like to share with the class?
Nope.
See, the replicator generates the cat hanging off a stick with the phrase "hang in there."
That is adorable.
Can I just say that I really appreciate our new friend's sense of humor?
Okay. Now, I'm going to say a few sentences. You don't have to say anything. This is something that you cannot discuss with me.
What?
Whatever this is.
It just made me think of something is all. Might have nothing to do with anything.
Well, you'll look into it and tell me if it does, yes?
If.
All right, then. Well, do we just leave it here, or?
You see the scene flashes for a moment of Edwards' ready room, and then goes back to the replicator.
I think it's safe to go plug him back in.
And do you promise to just give Edwards what he asks for? I do think he's actually going to have a mental breakdown if you don't give him his coffee.
Generating
Hello?
from the replicator is a perfectly made cup of coffee with a best captain ever etched in the side of it. It's one of those novelty mugs.
Thank you very much.
I have an idea.
Lay it
When
on
you
me.
replicate that mug, I'm talking to them.
Oh.
When you replicate that mug, the first A in captain, could you make that a Starfleet chevron? I think he'd appreciate the touch. Perfect.
The replicator vanishes.
Right. Let's get this plugged back in where he should be.
All right, then.
You open up the crate. The blue fractal sort of inky liquid inside has expanded by
Aw,
about 3 or 4%.
they grow up so fast.
If I was looking at a biological life form as far as percentage of mass, how fast did this thing just grow?
Well, it just progressed from like a 7-year-old to a 12-year-old.
You see Kesha doing some mental math. We probably shouldn't plug it into a more powerful computer. Or maybe we should.
As you say that, it's still connected to the thing. You see it shrink itself down again to its previous level.
Chester, you're making him nervous.
It's fine. I just don't want you to grow so large you hurt yourself.
There is a limited amount of storage on these gel packs.
Right. That's my concern.
Well, worst comes to worst, we can always start networking them.
How many of those do you have?
What, the gel packs?
Yes. Spares.
Enough.
Maybe.
I'll start setting some aside.
Yes. Thank you.
You see it gets bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller.
I think they're excited.
Warning. Unidentified phenomena in holodeck 3 General Gel Pack.
All right, let's get you back into the captain's ready room.
Yeah, you remove it. You bring that back to the ready room. Captain, would you have been waiting for them to come back? Or?
I love the idea of him just sitting in the big chair, hearing them come on the bridge and just watching them walk it back into his room. This close.
You activate the power. The as soon as you connect it, it's sort of almost like it's stretching its legs. It's sort of inside the gel pack and then goes back to sort of its natural form to where you found it. The replicator turns back on, and you see in a perfect little dish is a small saucer full of honey. Somebody leaves. And with that, we're going to end the scene there. I am going to run to the restroom really quick. I will be right back.
Alrighty.
Okay. Hope you're ready to do some science, Trev.
Here's to Earth. I say, that is a sweet Earth. Round.
How's everyone doing? How was your thing today, Trev?
Trev.
There we go. Sorry, I was muted. I was for some reason
That
I had
tracks.
to unmute myself all of a sudden. This new fandangled technology, I'm used to old printers from the 90s. No, it was fine. It was a baby shower, and my boyfriend wasn't with me, so it was just me by myself, and so we were just. I was just there with a bunch
Your
of
who?
couples. Kids. Well, my boyfriend partner who I've been with for a long time. Partner boyfriend.
You've never mentioned them to us once
I
ever.
knew you had a significant other. This is the first I have learned the other half of that. That's all. Carry on.
You're learning so much today.
Well, today is a day of discovery. No, it's not.
We're just
Today is a day of
we're just
discovery.
balancing everything. It's beautiful.
There you go. Anyway, it was just by myself, so it was kind of boring. And I don't have kids. I was the only one there without kids. So I was like, get me out of here as fast as possible. But it was going to go until 6 o'clock, which is about nap time for the baby. So I was like, I really got to get out of here.
Yeah, it's a nap time for me too. Goodbye.
Exactly. So it ended around 4:45, and I'm like, I'm out of here. Bye.
So
Turns
I
out I
found
don't actually want to be here.
a very obscure, well, not very obscure, but kind of obscure wrestler from Scotland. He is my new favorite wrestler of all time. His gimmick is that if you say his name, he shows up.
He Beetlejuices?
His theme song is "Say His Name and He Appears."
Nice.
That's
I
ridiculous, and I love it.
believe in Joe Hendry. And it's just the most stock standard white guy you've ever seen.
Somehow that makes me appreciate it all the more.
Hold on, let me show you this guy.
You know, I've got funfetti birthday cake and I've got vanilla ice cream. I'm going to have myself like a proper fucking birthday dessert.
You know what? I knew it. I knew
it
I was
your
going to come
birthday?
to this game. You guys were going to start talking about good, yummy food and cooking, and I was going to. So I went to the doctor, and my doctor told me that I can't have
Cake.
all these things. So I can't have. I have
That's
to cut down.
him.
Sugar. And now you're talking about cake, and it's like, oh, I knew it.
Did we mention that both Buford and I are making beef stew?
I can't even have
He-
beef stew.
He's
That's how
currently
bad
making
it
it. I'm making it tomorrow morning.
Oh, I have a can after from before my appointment with my doctor appointment. I have a can of beef vegetable
Tapioca?
stew sitting here, just calling my name. Can't have it. I have to go through a physical and have to go through blood sugar tests and all that other stuff, and so she's like, be on your best behavior. So no sugar,
Hold on, I have a.
no gluten.
That's Tristan waking up after just waking up from a nice night of sleep.
Oh,
Every day. Right, Tristan?
Hello.
That picture that's just you.
No, that's Joe Hendry.
Oh.
That is my favorite wrestler of all time. His gimmick is that if you say his name, he shows up.
where is this picture? Oh, there you go. He does look pretty. Like
He looks so painfully generic. He looks
Yeah.
more generic than I thought he would, and that's amazing.
He looks
Yeah,
like a
right.
character preset.
He looks like a AI generated image. That's how generic.
Like,
he looks.
literally, I love. He's just. It's hilarious how stock standard he is.
Yeah. That's
The
amazing.
best way.
He's like, my favorite movie is Attack on Titan. Just kidding, it's War of the Roses.
No, his favorite movie is obviously Michael Bay's Transformers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
was
love that.
I was gonna say Armageddon, but yeah, Transformers.
Some people don't like
Armageddon's
Michael
too
Bay because
cerebral
he's an
for him.
asshole. Yeah. Some people don't like Michael Bay because he's an asshole. Frankly, I just think he's just like a solid guy. He makes solid movies. He's not trying to win any awards or anything, but I just like watching it.
And he's
I'm
Scottish.
just imagining Matt across the room, just adding another tally to the reasons I'm going to leave Tyler checklist.
Yeah.
Just nope. You know what? 2 more of those, and
He's like, yeah, my favorite bread is honestly white bread, just because it's simple.
It does the job.
It does the job. I have literally no standards, but sometimes
Ooh,
you
I'm
gotta
gonna make
check it before you
Beer
make it.
bread tonight.
This is an improv game. I'm doing like what generic things. I'm not really a fan of any particular franchise, but I'm gonna go to the game anyways.
Yeah. Right. What team are you rooting for? Whichever one does best.
Honestly,
Well, make sure
whatever,
both teams have fun.
whatever one passes the vibe check. What does that mean? Oh man, like if people are happy on one side and happy on the other, it's a hard decision. Anyway,
Where are we at? What are we doing?
oh yeah,
um,
oh come on, you can't
we're
look at
waiting
me.
for Tyler to stop being a basic bitch.
Honestly, chocolate milk
Sorry.
is too sweet. Sorry, I'm gonna keep going.
Honestly,
Pretending
my wife-
to be a basic.
my wife unironically says that, and she'll mix half chocolate milk and half regular milk.
Oh no.
I feel like I need a new XO out of spite. Like, I don't
Anyway.
want you around me anymore.
No.
So,
It's not me.
Yeah, but you're close to that and you haven't corrected it.
Listen,
Look, man,
you're
we all make
more than welcome to
sacrifices
try
for
and
love.
convince that woman to do anything.
Fair. I would just stop buying white milk.
Honestly, women are just, they're my primary sort of source of interest, but like I respect them.
He definitely drinks his respect wham and juice.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, let's continue with Star Trek because even though this improv game is so fun, so I'm gonna say that we have a good solid 7 days of downtime.
Yeah, specifically well, not just downtime, but there are a number of things that have to happen. The probes, I need dropped as a trail of breadcrumbs and increase our subspace communication range. I need to make sure we don't fly into anything bad, and I need to pretty much chain Woodyard to his desk so we can do math.
That first night,
Don't threaten me with a good time.
ahead,
Saoirse, there's something Saoirse would like to do that first night after
Yeah.
the thing.
Absolutely.
About,
What would you like to do?
Kelly to Captain Edwards,
Go ahead.
could you meet me in your ready room?
All right. And I'm assuming this is after hours, so I will go to my ready room.
Yep. Saoirse is already there.
One moment. Hey, Jerry. One black coffee, please.
You see a beautiful dark blue, like a Starfleet blue mug with best captain ever. And the first A in captain is a Starfleet Delta.
I pat the panel above the replicator. You're the best. And I just give Kelly, like, the crazy eyes. As I sit down with my coffee.
Computer,
Hello.
blackout protocol, please.
Authentication required.
The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
The computer's voice changes to a male voice. Blackout protocol activated. You see the doors seal, and you hear the audio equipment, which is usually a dull hum in the room, go down. I will offer this to the both of you. Would you like a sidebar?
Nah.
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Saoirse, while I love these clandestine meetings we have, just once.
Our clandestine, everyone knows we're here.
Just once. How are you doing today? Good, you?
Do you want a jelly bean?
No, thank you. I have my coffee and I'm quite happy. Now, we just locked this room down, and we know for a fact Jerry is listening.
You look back at the replicator, it has no power.
Okay, Jerry's not listening. Or Jerry's pretending not to listen. Anyway, what problems are you bringing to my doorstep today?
I would like your permission to spearhead an experimental alteration to the ship's shield, which I am not at liberty to actually discuss.
So you want me to go on blind faith and give you complete access to our shield grid and not look over your shoulder at what you're doing?
Yes, sir.
So, pretty much par for the course for the last 6 months.
You typically know what I'm doing.
You forget We both wore gold, different departments.
Fair enough.
Yeah, go ahead. Obviously, there's loop in who you can to the level, the bare minimum level required. You're meching up with other sectors' systems. Make sure they know you're at least playing with their toys.
Understood, sir.
How are you holding up? I feel like all we ever do is deal with one problem after another.
Well, I can't say it lacks for excitement, sir.
Well,
To
there's
be
that.
perfectly honest, when I got transferred out of that desk job, I had no idea what to expect. Least of all, the whole saving the Federation thing.
Yeah, we've been doing that at a remarkable amount. Like, not weekly, but definitely feels like once a month. Well,
It is kind of weird.
we've got a solid week before we get there. You're gonna be busy. Woodyard's gonna be busy.
Creighton's probably going to be busy.
Braden's gonna be real busy. I've seen their schedule when I'm supposed to drop down to let them actually tune the engines. Turns out running at maximum warp for 8 days straight is hell.
To be fair, I do think Creighton is overprotective of the engines.
Well, they're her engines to be protective over.
Yep, not my department anymore.
I don't even think you have a department anymore.
Sure I do.
Give Charlie my
I'm in the
best.
Kelly department. Will do, sir. She goes over to the console, taps a few buttons to disable blackout.
You know I have my own capability of doing that. Okay. There's probably like 16 extra encryptions on your version.
Blackout mode disengaged. Goodbye. The replicator comes back on. The doors unseal, and the computer responds in its normal voice. Normal station settings active.
Hey, Jerry, could you get me a large chocolate peppermint mocha frappuccino with extra whipped cream and chocolate sprinkles?
Oh.
You see a replicated picture of a replicator on sort of like an ornamental stand with Jerry question mark written on it.
Do you have a name you'd prefer?
Clears off and repeats, and you see a picture of clouds.
Cloudy.
Cirrus?
Guy?
Well, we did name our last My Entity Sunny. Apparently we've got a weather theme going on. Nick said that out loud, by the way.
The replicator clears the picture of clouds.
Cloudy it is.
You hear like a little beam boom from the replicator system. Nothing replicates, but It appears to you. It appears to have accepted the name Cloudy.
Well. Howdy. Would you please make me a...
It cuts
Large-
you off mid-sentence, and it replicates what you said.
You're wonderful, and thank you. She takes it, slurps it, and just goes... "Mm." You'll
See,
excuse me,
Ned?
Captain?
Okay.
I have a lot to do.
Don't work too hard.
So Trev, I suppose So let's
Yes.
get a good what is it? So I'm gonna give you guys 7 days of downtime, and then once we do all that, I'm gonna give you sort of a development that happens over that 7 days, and then on the 8th day we'll resume.
Hmm.
What? You have about 7 days at at this speed. How many sectors are we going? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, it's about a sector a day at max warp.
Okay.
Yikes.
I am going
We're
to.
booking it.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to put you right now. You pass the Omiran system,
We can
where
see that.
oh, sorry. Thank you. I'm gonna put you past the Omira system. That sort of marks your first full day. You receive a hail from the Omiran system. Just a standard greeting. They provide you with an update that they are currently holding their first elections, and they have selected a parliamentary republic as their new government type. You see sort of on screen, they send over some files. The old sort of presidential palace quarters are stripped away. You see that they have leveled those buildings and are instead creating housing. You see that there is a couple of you see like Starfleet outposts there, just sort of to help out. These are people that were directed from Narendra, using DS Fortitude as sort of as an extension base. They're doing well. Most of their civilization is starting to expand below the sea as well. You see that their government buildings and everything are above water. Below water, you tend to suspect that in their sort of island world, they are expanding down into the seabed.
Good for them.
Good for them. Now, Kyle, so Edwards, you're taking sort of a overseeing approach, right? Or is there anything specific that you yourself wanted to carry out in person over this 7 days?
Not until people start providing me with information. Like, I'm literally just keeping everyone else do stuff. If I'm taking care of the minutia, then Kestra can do whatever Kestra does. Kelly can break however many laws she wants to break, and Trev can make my breadcrumb trail.
Perfect.
I am typing you something, but you can start with Trev, because I would really like those probes before I forget about them.
Yes. Trev, you receive an order handed down to your science office, to create a subspace trail to follow, hopefully expanding your subspace frequencies to be able to contact the Fortitude. Now, in order for this to be a success, I'm going to tell everybody right now. In order to set up a functioning subspace port in this sector, you pretty much need one per sector, as a relay going back to the S42. It takes you a full day, like a full shift, plus supporting, plus actually building the thing. to actually create it, and I'm going to say another 12 hours to fully program it to what you need it to be. And that 12 hours also encompasses shielding it from the sort of Shackleton effect, as I will call, from the electromagnetic superstorms that are out here, from gravimetric eddies, from errant pockets of subspace jumping in and out of real space. The Shackleton effect, as I will now consider it. Now, Captain Edwards, yeah. So Trev, you communicate that right away, and that's
Okay.
with everybody. That's with everybody in sciences and engineering pulling support away from their stations and going and doing.
Okay,
It's
so
gonna take-
just so I'm clear, we have to drop a probe every day since we're going to from sector to sector every day, correct? And 12 of those hours in the day are going to be probe prep, and the other 12 hours are going to be the time that we can, if we go over in the prep time, we can at least have a little bit of leeway to get the probes out.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so bare minimum to get the thing even deployed and set up correctly, 12 hours. That's with
Okay.
everybody with an engineering rating of 2 or higher getting an environmental suit, going out there and doing it. To make them last, it's going to take the day, basically.
So the science teams along with the engineering teams are basically working 24/7.
Yes, that's the first thing. The second thing is, because of the time, it's that quite literally almost, if you're setting them up right for long-term deployment, it will take a full day. So this will essentially double your travel from 7 days to 14 days. In order to get it set up.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't think we need to set them up for long term. They just need to last out here as long as we are.
Yeah, we're looking
or-
at about a 20-day turnaround, or we're going to get destroyed at 9. So
If you're going bare bones essentials, putting these out here with the express knowledge that the Shackleton effect will probably wreak havoc on them, that's fine. It would increase your travel time by 50%, so from 7 days to like 10 and a half, 11. 10 and a half if you really truly do a bare bones job and just get them there.
a few extra days isn't going to bother me, considering
Okay.
I know Howard is planning to follow. Ensuring he can is more important than getting there 3 extra days early.
One other thing, like I mentioned, because of the Shackleton effect, all communications that are used with the assistance of the subspace band that you make, it's going to have a disadvantage opposed to it that increases difficulty by 2 for all communications, and increases complication range by to get communications across it. Because the Shackleton effect, this is, literally communications and shields and other sort of like physical effects on installations and ships. That's what the Shackleton effect affects the most. If you do it right and take the extra time, there will be a difficulty increase because of the extended distance, but the complication range will not be. Just spelling that out.
Yep. We'll do what we have to.
All right. So you're going with the 10-day then.
Yeah, we'll go
With-
to 10 day.
For that then, I'm going to need 2 rolls from you. I'm going to need you guys to pick a primary roller for the actual. No, actually, here's what we're going to do. Edwards, are you overseeing this installation effort yourself, or are you giving that to a department head to head up themselves?
I will oversee this myself.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm gonna need a. So you're doing this. You're trying to get this done as quick as possible, while still, making sure that they actually work. I am gonna juice this roll here. This is gonna be This is gonna be daring command. I'm gonna say difficulty of. I'm gonna set it at difficulty 4, but I'm gonna go ahead and spend 5 threat to increase it to 5. And comp. So control command. I'm sorry, daring command. Difficulty 5. Complication range of 3. I will allow 1 assist.
Are
Not
they rolling the same
including
stats
the
as
ship.
me?
Yeah.
Are they rolling
So
daring
if
command as well?
they would be rolling. They would be rolling daring whatever their contribution is. So for Jack, it would be for Kelly. I'm sorry, it would be daring engineering. For Titan, it would
I got
daring.
Well, Titan's the nerd. He'll be programming the probes because Kelly is now doing whatever clandestine things Kelly does. So,
Right.
Yeah, we will use Titan as my secondary.
All right. So daring command. Div
You said
5
comp range.
comp of assisted by daring sign.
Sorry, daring science.
Yep.
I'm assuming focus, but I'm not sure.
Make a case. Make a case for one. Yeah.
I want to say astrophysics for sensor operations, but I'm not sure.
I will take astrophysics at an increased complication range because that's not directly related
about-
to
Yeah.
communications.
What about quantum mechanics in that you're having to figure out how to beam these subspace communications through subspace,
That's a very good one.
turbulence?
Yeah,
Yep.
I changed quantum mechanics.
Quantum mechanics. Yeah, sure. That's not a complication increase.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and
So,
Kyle, make your main roll first.
All right,
Oh, I'm so
Close
sorry.
my eyes.
Sorry.
That does not exist. You're totally fine.
Yeah,
It was a crit
Cool.
too, so that's one wasted.
Damn it,
Just
Woodyard.
kidding.
Cool.
I know.
So
I
I'm
know.
going to
It's
start.
the only time I'm gonna crit today. So.
I'm going to start by citing my focus of Starfleet protocol, so I know which protocols I have to stick to and which ones I can skip for expediency.
Yes. Okay.
I am
For sure.
going to cite my determination of first through the door, because we are 100% first through the door.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Go
Get some
ahead and
roll.
roll your veteran first. See if you get it back.
Nope.
Oh.
Okay, and I am going to buy up to 4 with first one with momentum, second with threat. So 2 momentum, 3 threat.
All right.
Caster, can you get the ship for us?
Oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely. What am I rolling on the ship?
The ship will be assisting with communications science.
Communication science.
Yep.
Well,
Right, is
why
that a
didn't you
thing?
just say that you love me? That's 2 of our best stats.
Yeah, baby.
Son of a
Focus.
bitch.
Ba-da-da-da.
Oh my god. And yep. Oh no! Come on, guys.
That's only 11.
That'll do her.
Yeah, it's only 11 successes. Come on.
Remember back
Oh.
when rolling 8 was incredible?
Yes. I'm gonna describe what happens first, and then you're more than welcome to use the float if you'd like. Yes, this project is a resounding success. you don't do it quick enough to shave off any time, but you stick to the schedule, and you're about 4 hours ahead, actually. It's hard work. It's going into space and making sure that stuff is done right. A lot of spacewalks. Using the ship's tractor beam to help. The ship's tractor beam does help. It does testing perfectly. The S42 confirms the connection after each one you do. It is a resounding success.
Excellent. And we have 2 float. I would like to... I want to create an advantage, but I need to figure out which advantage. Titan, you did most of the math. You figure out the advantage. Good talk.
I ain't creative. I work with numbers. How about the advantage is that we have used the scanning of the Shackleton effect so well that the optimal placement of these sensors, of these buoys, has created a little bit of we've been able to map out a little bit better, faster way, better way of putting down these things. So we get a little bit of extra, because we know exactly where we're going to go and where we're going to place these things in the most optimal place. Is that a good advantage? Are we on the right track? Is that
what mechanical benefit are you looking for that advantage?
Well, I was hoping that
here's how I'll put that. I will make it so that the difficulty increase due to your distance away from D Space Fortitude, with or without the buoys, is reduced by 1. So now it's only going up by 1, but the comp range is still going up to what I said it was.
There you go.
So it makes future communication rolls using the subspace grid. Yeah, it makes it less difficult. How does that sound?
I think that sounds grand.
All right, 2 floats spent. That is plan A. You guys have a trail of breadcrumbs, and as you get, so that, I will say, Captain Edwards, that's going to be your sort of main, both you and Lieutenant Woodyard. Both you guys spend most of your time on this journey on that. You sleep for 6 hours and then you're back to it.
That's definitely not what I was planning, but...
Oh, well, okay. What?
Yeah, no, I understand. I was just typing something.
Okay.
Basically, that's just to keep my finger on the pulse of how the crew's doing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I will go ahead and run.
You don't have to do it right now either.
Yeah. Those will be sort of at the end, in sort of we're getting sort of the mechanical stuff out of the way, and then we'll do some role playing after that. Yeah, for sure. So that will for sure happen, though. For that here, Kelly, I have a feeling that you have a very singular focus that you'd like to spend
Indeed,
time on.
I do.
Whose help are you enlisting in this? You do have I will point out that you do have a very, very strong telepath, who you are very good friends with, who may or may not be able to help. But
Yeah, so I'm looking at roping in Minimum 2 other people.
Okay.
It's going to be Kestra and Kraden.
All right.
Yeah,
And
you see
where
my
would this?
message?
Say again?
Did you see my message before you made your decision?
I
I'm
did
fine
not.
with your decision. Yep. I'm fine with your decision, but
Absolutely not. No.
okay.
No. No. Nope. No.
Wow. I don't even want to know. Well, I really, actually, very much do. But anyway. And where is this clandestine meeting of the mind taking place?
Archer's quarters.
All right. Bam, bam, da, da. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, we do.
I'm here
We
again.
will. Kelly's quarters is close to a EPS conduit. That's why there's the dull humming.
Engineering.
It's
Just
totally not
record.
because the GM just could not stand the music I picked.
Yeah, I don't know. Kelly, you're in your quarters. Hagen, what kind of message does Hagen get? And what time is this, do you think?
About an hour after shift ends, Sersha sends a message to both Kraden and Kestra that says, "Hey, meet me at my place?" ?
Brandon goes, ?
Kestra says,
Sure, okay.
certainly, ? So more like, certainly?
Get the blue lady out. Again, she's in the graveyard. I don't know why. I found her though. All right. Say it's around like 2000 hours. No. It's 8 o'clock. And right, is that 8 o'clock? 12, 11, 10.
0800.
8 p.m.
8 p. 2000.
2000. Thank you. I don't know how you say 20000 in military speak. Anyways,
2000.
2000 hours. You all, yeah.
So, I don't think the three of us have been in a room very often together.
Yeah, this
First,
is-
I think.
Hi. Yeah, I don't really get out very much. I sort of, to use a proverbial phrase, punch in, punch out. It's actually weird. I've never actually been inside your quarters. What is that on the wall?
Which one?
Not the anime one.
The F-14 Tomcat?
The what?
It's an F-14 Tomcat, made by McDonnell Douglas, late 20th century Earth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not an area of study for me, but that's interesting. Yeah.
Why do you know the word anime?
That was GM talking.
Oh.
Great in response.
Anime became very popular on Bolia.
Yeah.
I just had this hilarious mental image of this bully just like Naruto running down the halls.
Yeah.
No, she does the One Piece jump.
Oh god. My quirk would be anyway. See, I know anime too.
Sersha just sort of leans back, props her feet up. So I am asking the two of you, as the two people most qualified to help me on this, to do some serious clandestine shit that no one else is supposed to find out about. that will involve an overhaul of one of the ship's major systems.
Is this in violation of Federation law?
No.
Then how can I help?
Creighton?
Well, I am flattered that you'd ask me. I mean, yeah.
Saoirse holds a hand up, does a little gesture, and the door seals.
A male voice responds in the computer. Blackout protocol activated.
I didn't know it had another voice.
Yeah, well, today you're going to be learning a lot of stuff. I am
All right.
making an on-site call to read the two of you into something that you are most definitely not supposed to know, and if you tell anyone or mention it to anyone, the repercussions will be severe.
So, like most of my career, then.
Not like this. Saoirse is actually being like dead serious.
Yeah.
All right.
Hagen, you feel the waves coming off her. Like, usually, Kelly is very like, takes everything sort of seriously, but like, there's always a level of nonchalance.
Right.
Yeah. 100% dead serious business. Like, no sarcasm. She's not eating anything.
All right, then.
Kestra, do you remember that battle that Cloudy showed us on the holodeck?
Yes, although I wasn't sure what I was looking at.
Did you see any weapons fire?
No.
I did. For about
Okay.
a decade now, Starfleet has been investigating the possibility of weaponized psionic energy and how we would defend our ships against such an attack. For reasons I will not get into, I have a passing familiarity with the proposals and a few of the preliminary design documents. I want to make sure if something comes at us with psionic energy that we can push it away. Otherwise, this ship might get shattered into pieces.
Okay. With that context available, do I, with what I know of psionics being the level of telepath that I am, do I have an inkling of how you would even begin to do that?
From the how you understand how your abilities work, there is some sort of your latent ability obviously has a way of reaching other people. That's how you can sense their abilities, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't have a way of sort of extending your ability outside of yourself, right?
Right.
That you would just be able to read your own thoughts like anybody else. So you don't have any science really to back it up from a medical or from just sort of a beta Z point of view. But from what Kelly is saying is, if something can sort of like irradiate out of someone, like this sort of psionic psychic reading ability,
Yeah.
it's like, imagine if it was like a stream of water going down a hill. There's got to be, you would think there'd be a way to put your hand down and stop it. You've experienced that on sort of a person-to-person level. People get trained and hardened against psychics and psionic interference. You've seen that. But applying that to like a physical, non-sentient body is not something that you've heard of.
I'm sorry, did you figure out a way to attune shields to a psionic frequency?
In theory, I may be aware of some schematics that were part of an initial proposal to modify Starfleet shields in order to block incoming weapons fire from psionic abilities just as easily as we would directed energy.
I'm going through the catalog of known psionic entities to Starfleet. Is there a single thing that could warrant that kind of response?
The Stone of Gaul.
Immediate response.
Was that impressive? Sorry.
Our GM says he's not a real Trekkie.
Yeah, 100%. You know, this is how the Vulcans made war before they were logical. By killing with a thought. It was a weapon that was created.
Something I can do is just the idea of something that could hit a ship.
Just a matter of degrees. I mean, so you of course have never seen it deployed before, but you know of historical evidence to suggest that something like that has existed at one point. Before the Vulcans purged their whole thing. You would know that just from your studies on Beta Z.
Right.
And like your upbringing and stuff.
Okay. All right, then. So, I understand that that's an impressive bit of engineering, but why is it so secret?
Why would it not be?
Well, a means of defense. I understand, like, keeping your cards close to your chest, but that's... I'll never understand intelligence. All right.
Castra, do you know what happens if someone knows how your defenses work?
Not how they work, but that they exist. Okay, it's theoretically possible. Although I'm not sure how you tune the shield frequencies to do that.
Well, you see Mina speaks up. We have portable generators that have a wide array of frequencies. I mean, we've centered on ones in a specific frequency band that matches Nadion and Plasma and Disruptor blasts. If you think about it, if we suppose that this psionic thing is made up of a type of energy, I mean,
then you can put up a barrier.
That you can put up a barrier. It's just a matter of finding the frequency. I mean, I'm sure that's going to be the hardest part. Once we find that frequency, I mean, we have the perfect test subject. Points at you, Hagen.
Well, if you can wait a day or two, I can probably get clearance to strain myself a bit.
It'll take that long to rig up a test prototype anyway.
Okay. Mina goes, okay, well, I'm ready to get to work if you're ready. She sits down and Charlie jumps on her lap and she's like, oh my god, it's a spider. Oh,
what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
It's a robot. Everything's fine.
Oh god. Oh god.
Okay, everything's fine. What is this? Why is it crawling on me? Why is it crawling on me?
You've met Charlie. You don't get to freak out.
It scares me every time.
It was on the ceiling and then it dropped on me. What the hell is happening?
He's just a pet.
Oh.
He's not even capable of recording audio.
Zzz, you see the head snaps to you.
He is adorable, though.
Sort of shakes his little spider butt.
I look. Kestra like gives Kraden a look at the phrase "he is adorable." Just mild shake of the head. Just
All right. He sort of, Mina sort of grabs the Charlie and sort of weirdly scratches up under its chin. It sort of narrows its eyes and then looks at you, Jack. Then sort of shakes itself loose and goes back to the ceiling. Wow. I mean, I've owned cats. It's pretty similar. Mina looks at everybody.
all right then. I'm going to go get my next round of medicine so that I'm up to this. Kelly, terrifying as always. Can I
Always.
I mean, every time I interact with you like this, it's always terrifying.
The worst thing that's happened previously was you got sprayed with apple cider.
Well, that was more of a party.
See?
So, here's how this is going to work. And this is my first time using this system, and most likely will be the last time. We are using the scientific method from the core rulebook.
Da-da-da.
There may come a point with this that I just give it to you, frankly, because this is my least favorite part. I will say to everybody watching, all one of you, or 20. It's algorithms are weird. This is such a hard thing for me to do as like a fly by the seat of your pants GM. I have planned this. Here's how this works. Kelly, you are what we're going to call a research lead. I need you to make me all right. Give me just one moment. No, we've already observed the phenomena. Let's go to the next one. So, everybody in the scene currently, okay, is going to mention to me a couple of different avenues of research that we're going to go down. Now, these avenues of research, they take the form of focuses. So, right now, what disciplines or sort of focuses or areas of research do you believe holds the answer to this question? How to create psionic shielding?
I've got 2.
Okay, yeah,
Telepathic
shout 'em out.
prowess and xenoneurology.
Okay. They do not have to be focuses that you have. Since Commander Kelly is the research lead, those 2 could very much be what they call it the right way. In terms of, so list me like 3 or 5 ideas that you pick. Feel free, everybody in the chat can throw out ideas. So like Tristan just mentioned, telepathic prowess, or so that sort of route would be. It would be you pretty much looking at different sort of like shield boundaries and reading like emotions through it, basically, would be what we're doing to experiment with that. What was the other one?
Xenoneurology.
Xenoneurology, would you be basically looking up stuff about sort of like sort of going through different species that the Starfleet has met that have psionic abilities, and going through each of their sort of brain makeups to see if that holds the answer to this question. Give me just
That
one moment.
and what specific, because we have a bunch of scans of different species using psionic abilities. We have like dozens, thousands of scans of that specific thing because it was such a thing of interest when it was first encountered. What I'm specifically looking for is the different frequencies that were registered when people were using their psionic abilities.
And to that end,
Yes.
I'm going to propose electronic warfare. Because when you get all down to it, it's all just waves of energy. And what you have to do is identify, as said, the frequency, and once you know what frequency it is, you can disrupt that.
All right. Those are 3 good picks. I'm going to open it up to everybody. What is another sort of I say discipline, but like another quote unquote focused area of study that you would like to look into? Yeah, 3 really good ones.
Astrophysics to
I'll be
see
right
how
back.
far psionics, see the ranges of psionics effect on physical interactions. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
Known
that's good.
species.
Hey, that's a good one. Any other ones?
Well, I'm gonna keep going with the general theme here. So looking at Kraden's sheet, she's got electroplasma power systems. The deflector is electromagnetic.
It does not have to be a focus that we have, technically speaking.
Yeah, it can literally, if you have an idea that's out of the box that people don't have focuses in, that's totally fine. So
I'd basically focus on different ways to generate power for shielding, because as you said, it's different frequencies, so perhaps the power we currently use isn't the right type.
Okay.
So
power generation, I'll take that as an option for sure. That's 5 good choices here. I'll say last call. Anybody have any other ideas for sort of an area of focused research to look at?
The only other thought I have is xenopsychology.
Okay.
Which is determining how the Varonk would go about attacking us telepathically. Like, what would they do? How would they go about it? What would they use?
Okay. Perfect. So hopefully somebody's making a list of these. Sorry, I should have been doing that. So we have electronic warfare. We have neuropsychology.
Xenoneurology and xenopsychology.
And xenopsychology. We have electroplasma systems.
Alternative power systems.
Alternative power systems. Okay, great.
I've got one to suggest.
Power system. Okay.
Theoretical physics.
Physics, great.
Because this is where the telepathy is more or less a known quantity, leaning towards less, but still, attacking a ship is telekinesis, and that level of psionic power, the effect it would have on physical matter isn't exactly well known.
Sure. For sure. Okay, great. So the 5 that I have right now, I know that we mentioned a couple of earlier. I just wasn't writing them down. I have electronic warfare, xenoneurology, xenopsychology, alternative power systems, and theoretical physics. What were the 2? I think there were 2 other ones.
I said astrophysics, but it's covered by the theoretical physics part.
Okay.
So
I would say those are actually different. I would say astrophysics and theoretical physics. Those are sort of, one is very, very actually physical. Like, we know how planets and how subspace and how those things sort of interact. Theoretical physics is looking beyond that to what we don't.
Sure.
So I will have that open as a 6th one. Okay, So those are going to be that's going to be our list of 6. I'm going to go ahead and copy that over to the Foundry. Now, Kelly, you are the research lead for this. You're sort of the one spearheading this project. We are now going to go to our 3rd phase here, in the testing phase. So, your job right now, I will say that out of the 6 focuses that you have selected, let me really think about this here. I'm going to go ahead and combine. I'm going to go ahead and combine xenopsychology and xenoneurology. So I'm going to do one as xenoneuropsychology. Is going to sort of be a good focus here, just so that we can get it down to a good 5. So it's gonna look weird, but we're gonna go ahead and do this. That second one is encompassing the 2nd and 3rd one of the previous list. For that. So, Kelly, I will say that one of those is gonna be whatever the right way. You have identified that out of these 5. I'm not going to specifically tell you which of the 5 is the right way. But right now it is up to you to determine which area to you has the most validity into what you would like to do first.
Okay. Could we get this? Oh, there it is written down. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. We are going to start with xenoneuropsychology.
Neuropsychology, perfect. So, awesome. Let's go ahead and... So, now, there is going to be a difficulty for this task. I am not going to tell you what the difficulty is. Okay. I'm going to say that you have 3 attempts. No. I'm so sorry. You have 5 attempts. That means 5 rolls. Not just for this one, but for all of the potential research paths that you would like to do for this sort of thing. This is going to take a lot of time of your journey. So, your first attempt, we're going to go through for xenoneuropsychology. It could be a difficulty as high as 10 for this. Okay.
Okay.
If it's the right way, the difficulty is going to be lower. Okay. If it's sort of one of the ones that doesn't have any fruit at the end of it, if you're rolling like 7, 8, 9 successes, and I haven't told you that you found the best route yet, or a route yet, you're probably looking in the wrong place.
Okay.
Okay. So the three player characters are going to be able to Kraden will be able to assist, and Kestra will be able to assist. They have to use their engineering skill, because this is an engineering problem. Does Kestra have an engineering score of 2 or higher?
She does not.
Okay.
However, I would, if you'll allow me to argue it.
Okay.
Kestra is not providing help in an engineering sense. She is providing help in a medical sense. She is going through neurological scans, frequency records. She is interpreting medical data so that the engineers can extrapolate it to their machine. She is providing the medical help in this context, whereas the 2 engineers are doing the engineering.
Okay. The only reason why I'm saying it has to be engineering and somebody with an engineering score of 2 or higher is because that's how the rules for scientific method.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, in this case, you would not be able to assist. However, if you were to call the ship in this instance is not going to be able to assist. You are more than welcome to activate a supporting character who could be brought in here as well. But, Kelly, that means that you would have to read them in as well. So you're more than welcome to just do it with you and Kraden, but less people rolling on something means potentially less successes. So I leave that up to you.
I really want to keep this as low profile as possible.
Graydon's an engineer. She's got a decent score.
Sure.
She should. She's our chief engineer. God help us if she doesn't.
All right.
Today was the first day I saw her sheet.
All right. So we're selecting Xenoneuropsychology. Go ahead and you're able to juice this roll as much as you'd like. You can spend values. You can do whatever you'd like. So the difficulty is going to be between 1 and 10. You don't get to declare the difficulty. You basically roll as many dice as you'd like. Of course, paying requisite fees for them. And then you get the successes that you get, and then I will tell you if you have exceeded the threshold or not.
Okay.
That's,
Yeah. What am I rolling?
you are going to be rolling, so it's going to be an engineering roll. I am going to say you're doing this on the fly. You're doing this with sort of minimal assistance, and you're trying to get this done before you get to the place that you're going to, which I'm assuming. So I'm going to make this daring engineering.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right. Go ahead and juice this roll as much as you'd like.
Okay, and it
Or as
counts
much-
as having a focus because we've got our list of focuses there.
So, this is where it's going to suck for you. Xenoneuropsychology is going to be the focus for you, but since you are the research lead and you do not have that focus, you would not be able to roll with that focus. So it needs to be, in order for you to apply it to your roll, it needs to be on your sheet, which is the suckiest, truly the suckiest thing about this whole thing. Because what's the point of getting together and figuring out something without getting a focus for it? Like, anyway, but that's my
I
whole thing
think
with
the
this
idea is because you can create a lower decker on the fly, we can create individuals who are skilled in this. However, because we're doing secret squirrel shit, we don't have that luxury.
Alright, so I'm going to spend 1 momentum and 5 threat.
All right. Kraden is going to be rolling daring engineering as well.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your rolls, folks.
Does she count for normal activations?
That is a good question. I believe so.
Then I'm going
Actually,
to increase her.
I am so sorry. No, she is an NPC. No. Yeah,
Fine.
she has a full list of focuses and some values.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case,
I'll just
I am supporting with no focus. Like a boss.
All right. So that is 6 successes. Are we leaving everything like it is on the board?
There, unless I want to go crit fishing, which is not great when I don't have a focus, yes.
So that is 6 successes. So you have stumbled on the right way. And
Huzzah!
absolutely nailed the required difficulty. You got 6 on the button. Okay. So, okay. I love
That's
scientific
weak
method.
luck, ladies and gentlemen.
Truly. So the 3 of you spend, I'm gonna say, a good 4 days of your 10-day journey, working on this prototype. Yes, Hagen, you guys work well into the night, off on your off shift hours. Basically, it's you guys are, to the rest of the crew, y'all are just hanging out a lot. which everybody views as a positive for Kraden because Kraden doesn't really have a lot of friends. As you work with her more, you get why she was selected as one of the fleet engineers to be put on the Intrepid. She has a mind that once it's focused is laser. Her mind works on checklists that go right down the line, but when she's improvising, she's still like them. The next step for her comes immediately, right away. So she's sort of working with this, and you hit day 3, and she sort of puts her head down. She goes, I was reading this thing last night. Vulcan neuropsychology. So all of their records previously, right? I mean, all the records from like their weapons way back when, before they were all logical, they were a warring species just like humans were. Just like, I mean, frankly, everybody species in the root was. I have an idea. She pulls up a list of Vulcan engineering core shield frequencies. These, I mean, Vulcan shield frequencies we barely use anymore because they're not meant to be going out. They're just explorers, so they just have minimal shielding. They don't go out into opening fire at all. What if we start going in these narrow frequencies here? And you see, she's sort of talking to herself, but understands that that you guys have worked together long enough to where when she's in the way that she's talking about herself, she's trying to get to the next step of her sort of off the cuffing it improving.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
And I think I see where you're going.
Yeah. Vulcan shield frequencies. She closes her eyes and can't work because the integrity. Well, we have the modified shield. We have the modified shield generators. We could probably do it. Okay, I'm going to the shield generator room, and she sprints out the door. She brings back a chunk of spare shielding parts. So if I rig this up with a Vulcan setup, with their parallel geometry warp curve, if we do this, okay. Commander Kelly, sit there in that chair. She points to this chair.
Which one? I was pacing.
This sort of
Okay.
The incline chair. Okay, and now Hagen, you go to the other side of the room.
Okay.
She sets the shield generator down next to you. You see, it's one of the portable models that are used and carried by emergency deck crews in order to keep a little bit of atmosphere in so that they can repair hull breaches, in space dock. Okay, so if I do this, you see the shield pops up, goes that little static moment, and then falls. If I were to, okay,
Hey.
he might. Yeah.
Reroute it through the secondary wiring.
Oh, that's so cool! Yes, and she ties it. There's an active power tab here. She hot wires it, goes around, loops it up, ties it in a bow, and then she sticks her hand down the generator unit, which you're just fully not supposed to do. Okay, I need to fix the polymorph. And she gets flung back, and you see the shield go from sort of almost like a perfectly transparent thing to you see polyhedral sort of ridges appear in the shield network. And Hagen, as soon as that turns on, they are reading like this. You cannot hear anything.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. It worked. It worked. I can't hear you. Now.
Ursha
let's
just
try-
slowly turns to Creighton. You know, you're lucky this isn't officially happening, because I might have had to report safety lapses that egregious.
Ow. And she looks down at her hand, and her hand has been exposed to generator radiation, and it's glowing red. Okay.
Oh.
All right,
Oh.
we did it. All right, we did it. I'm gonna
Maybe,
sit.
Maybe go to
I'll
sick
get the
bay.
medical kit.
I'm gonna sit.
I dress her wound. That
Yeah, okay.
was dumb. That was dumb.
Yep, that was really dumb. Ow. Okay. But it works. The psionic generator, after a moment, it destabilizes because the power source is completely depleted in maybe a tenth of a time of what it normally has for generation. I had to jerry rig the power to go into overload. We're gonna be able to do this, but it's our shield integrity is going to be good for physical damage for a while, but that's not the issue. Our issue is power. We're going to need to do this to all the shield generators on board the ship, hook them up directly to active power taps, probably from the weapon system, or directly from the fusion reactors, which we're not supposed to do.
Well,
Creighton?
before we do that, shouldn't I test to see if I can get through it?
And I would like to point out, Creighton, that since you designed this ship, we had 2 extra fusion generators installed. We could dedicate a power supply to these.
Right, but even if we dedicate 2 fusion reactors, it's still going to deplete them very quickly. I would say them being on with nothing happening outside, no weapons fire or anything, we could probably sustain it for an hour or 2. But if we don't turn them off to recharge the fusion reactors with the other power generation on the ship, they're not gonna. That's what we would have to do until we invent a new way to generate power at this magnitude.
Okay. So how long would we get if we dedicated the extra fusion generators and kept the shield systems wired into the warp core?
Well, that means if warp goes out, we won't have shields at all.
If warp goes out, we got bigger problems.
Right. Okay. If we were to directly
Besides, shields are wired into the warp core anyway.
If we were to pull directly from the warp core, bring all secondary systems, that means transporters, replicators, some kind of essential systems. We would be able to keep it up for 4 hours before we would have to take the psionic shielding offline to recharge.
I just had a really stupid idea.
Yeah.
What if we daisy chained a couple of the warp reactors from our shuttlecrafts?
It wouldn't be. The shuttlecraft warp core isn't going to make a dent in it, and those ones are more unstable at low power levels. So we would risk breaching. I would only be comfortable connecting it to the warp because with the impulse feedback.
Stop trying to talk with your hands.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ow. Right. Okay. So everybody, I'm going to be adding a thing to your ship. So you currently have advanced shields. If you didn't have the advanced shields mechanic, you would not be able to do psionic shielding at all. To activate, somebody write this down.
Okay.
So, for psionic shielding, you immediately have to spend 4 power to bring it online. So 4 power is to bring it online. That adds. Yeah, okay. So let me think this through here. So for each round that it's on, you lose 2 more power. Okay. So you go through the entire sort of initiative order, and you lose 2 more power. It drains your power very, very quickly. Once you get down to 4 power, your psionic shielding, as well as your whole shield matrix, goes down. Basically, you get your shields would be disabled, and you would need to take them fully offline to recharge. While psionic shielding is going on, no transporters, no replicators, no warp. Yeah. So that's the caveat with that. That also means that that Hagen, while it's on,
Yeah.
you get because it disrupts your sort of the way that your telepathy works. You know how
Yeah.
you have the enhanced attribute talent?
Yeah.
Not only does that not come into play while it's on, you will not be able to it's basically it's taking that sense away. No telepathy from you. Yeah.
Let me ask this: does that mean even within the bubble, or does that mean outside of the bubble?
Yeah, you throughout the testing of this as sort of Mina's talking, you stand inside, you get another power cell, you reactivate the shield generator. You can't hear anything outside of it either. When Kelly comes in to it, you cannot hear her.
Oh, that's.
Yes.
I shut it off immediately.
Oh,
Ooh, that's. Ooh. She does a stem, like she keeps tapping her middle finger to her palm and is just like, okay.
So.
Okay.
Right.
That's really disconcerting. Oh. They work, but they completely disable my telepathy. It's like there's no way. It's like if you turned on a switch and lost your eyesight.
You gotta get that.
So, now I'm leaving it up to you. Would you like to bring that talent online? You've discovered this. Would you like to apply it to the ship?
Yes, we would.
That will take the rest of your journey. You will finish that up on like day 9. I believe you have 1 Vulcan on board, but no other telepathic species on board, I believe.
Only one named Vulcan yet.
Yes. So as you turn it on, Saral comes up to the bridge. Says, I feel unsettled.
Ensign?
Lieutenant.
Ensign Sorrel.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I lost you.
If you, yeah, if you feel unsettled, perhaps sickbay was the best place for you.
Sorry, I
What-
was.
What do you feel unsettled about?
I don't feel like myself.
Okay. Chris, can you take Ensign Sorrel back down to sickbay? Edwards to Kestra?
Yep. And she answers, and you can hear her, like, normally she's stressed. That's like her default state. Her voice is like a few shades higher than that, and it's just like, yes, sir.
First thing I'm going to do before I even respond is look to see where Sarah is. Okay. I'm sending Sorrel down to sickbay. I have a feeling you might want to look at him.
Oh no, sir. That he
Okay.
should be fine. And I press the button. Should be fine. Ooh. Ask him if he feels better.
Sorrel, do you feel any better?
Yes, sir. I feel much better.
Okay. Well, carry on. Hits his comm badge.
Jeez. Walks away.
Hey, Kestra,
Yes.
remind me to write OPSEC on the side of something heavy and then hit you over the head with it.
I didn't even say anything.
It'd be enough to get someone curious.
I think this crew knows better.
So, is
You know what
there
they say about loose lips.
right? So, is there anybody else? So yeah, is there anybody else who would like to have something happen? Right. Anybody else?
I kind of want to fuck with Kestra.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Well,
always fun.
Great.
Why are you mean to me?
Because it's fun!
It is just very, very fun.
I remember this.
Whatever. You're probably crossfaded in right now, anyway. So hang on 1 second.
Sir.
Huh.
First of all, lower your damn voice.
Anyways, we don't consume things that are bad for us. Go Jesus. Anyways, let's continue. So we are gonna go ahead and cut to.
Our God isn't awesome.
Is it awesome? Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and cut to Captain Edwards' quarters at this point.
You know, I just gotta say, I love it when we come to Captain Edwards' quarters because nothing good ever happens in there.
I disagree. One good thing happened in there back in season 2.
You did
No.
get laid once.
So which of the top one and the bottom one, Kyle,
Yeah.
are your choices? Would you like both of them at the same? Would you like both of them at the same time or all together?
Yeah,
And
fuck
then
it.
the invite
Well,
card.
Yeah, go ahead and do 1 and 6 and bring Woodyard along.
All
And,
right.
and bring Skittles.
Yep, we'll make it. Yeah, 7th wheel. Here we go. So
technically, Kelly would be the outlier.
oh, right. Oops, I
These
went
are
to the
my
wrong
orders.
quarters.
I don't have
Shut
a
up.
table for this.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go to the conference room actually and pretend like it's a dining room.
It's the captain's dining room. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Some of you are here. Yeah, this will be nice and awkward.
Help.
What?
I've got a token stuck in my hand as you deleted it.
Oh.
Just refreshing the page.
Titan. The people who I'm dragging onto the thing now, y'all are all getting a dinner invite from the captain.
Well, who is this handsome fellow?
Oh, go on.
Jesus Christ. And then we are gonna do Mitchell.
Loading for me.
Yeah, he'll come up in a second. Mitchell, and then we're gonna do. Ooh, where's
Kelly there.
Oh, okay.
No, that's Kestra, not Kelly.
Shut up. NPC. I swear. Oh, there she is. That's not the token I picked for you, but whatever. We'll roll with it.
Well, you can fix it.
Correct. Yeah, the correct one is actually.
Yeah, if you just didn't update the project.
Give me 1 second.
And put her on the other side, so Woodyard can sit next to Skittles.
Romulan. 1 second. God, my Lutheran upbringing is making a comeback. We sang that during my communion, my first communion. We got to pick the songs, and of course, we picked the most basic ass. Romulan official. There you are. Select, update. Goodbye.
This panel is now hardcore Christian.
Oh my God. Where do you want?
This is now a Christian Minecraft server.
The five. Yeah. So so Lieutenant Mitchell, Hagen, Kelly, Woodyard, Strasser, y'all are all on time. You guys wait, sort of, because Edward hasn't had people serve the food yet. The door opens, and you see a familiar face. The troll walks in.
You guys.
Troll-
So just for
Yeah.
for context, this is like nearing the end of our trip. I've been doing this every night with the different section heads. So I've had Creighton, Dune, and Fox in here. I've had Grix, Talos, and Sorrel. Like, I'm just keeping a pulse on the crew, making sure everyone's doing. So, carry on.
Alright.
So,
The troll walks in. She is currently wearing a Romulan Navy uniform, with some golden epaulets on the shoulders and on the neck. You see a official sort of Federation intelligence comm badge on her. She is currently armed. She has a small stub barrel disruptor pistol on her hip, sort of small size, and a knife in her boot. And she sits down and looks down at Federation food. Apologies for my tardiness.
oh, not at all. It's a nice, relaxing dinner, and looks like you're not even the last person to arrive.
What else are we waiting on?
Woodyard?
He's right there!
I'm right
don't see it.
there.
I don't see him on my screen.
Oh my God.
The
I'm
whole
right next-
the whole game has stopped loading for me, so I don't know what to do.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
I keep appearing and disappearing.
Just
appearing and
refresh.
I did.
There he goes. I thought you were leaving him behind just so I could make fun of him again.
Jeez. Okay, yeah. So you're at a table sitting next to Mitchell, and next to Captain Edwards, who's at the head of the table, sitting next to the seventh wheel, of this. Kelly, Woodyard, you're sitting next to Skittles. Skittles is incredibly nervous and has never been invited to a dinner like this. Mitchell is sort of, her eyes are down on her food, and she's just wondering when she can eat.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join me. Go ahead, Sarah. It's okay. It's just food.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what is being served?
It's an excellent question.
Don't ask
I am
ChatGPT what's being served.
That's me, and I hate you. I'm
It's
gonna
a
go
pasta
with
bolognese.
yeah. No, that'd be the main course, sure. But there's a salad with I hate it, but a raspberry vinaigrette. Why are all fancy dinners have a salad with a shitty dressing?
Hey, I like raspberry vinaigrette.
That tracks.
Yeah.
I like milk.
Yeah. So yeah, salad to start. There'll be a pasta meal. If there are any vegetarians in the room, there'll be a vegetarian
Oh, thank
option
God.
of the same pasta. In fact, considering it's likely replicated, it's all vegetarian technically. Yeah. And yeah, bread naturally, and a nice chocolate mousse for dinner, pulled out of Lieutenant Commander Kelly's replicator profile. So you know it's chock full of sugar.
It's just, it's so rich. It's just a solid, you can cut it with a knife.
Yeah, it's like one of those gross desserts that you're like, I could eat like half of this and then never eat chocolate again.
And
Yours
Thirst
is
is just
3.
sitting there like, nom 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 nom.
Yeah.
This, you see the Charles speaks up. This mousse is very bad? Yeah, good. And then keeps eating.
Yeah, we're fairly certain most of the things in the replicator on Kelly's profile is a power source. Didn't I see some plans to replace the warp core with just whatever you happen to have for leftovers? I think the efficiency
don't
would
have
go by at least
leftovers.
5%.
Mitchell laughs.
Anyways, just wanted to thank you all for all your hard work this last week. We are quickly approaching our coordinates. How's everyone holding up in your various sections?
Well, Khan has been a challenge. Just sort of directing, going through this uncharted space. We're trying to avoid stellar phenomena when possible. I have to make constant course adjustments for subspace bubbles, weird voids in space that could be hidden, gravimetric anomalies. Being at high warp for this long is a challenge, but I think we're getting used to it.
Oh, with any luck, we can take the scenic route home.
Yes, that's actually what I was going to ask you. I was hoping that we could maybe explore some space while we're out here. You know, we got these good sensors. I figure may as well.
Well, I'm hoping you're at least marking the interesting things on the map, so we can check some stuff out on the way home.
Yes, we actually passed a stellar nursery on the way. All hands, brace. Red alert. And as the inertial dampers catch you, but still, I'm gonna need everybody to make a fitness con roll, difficulty of 3, to not be thrown and be damaged. All player characters, I will say.
Can I roll control to roll with instead of brace against?
This is gonna be
Tight.
it's gonna be fitness. You're doing what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, you were slamming on the brakes after going 120 miles an hour on the freeway. Wherever you're going, you're going.
Would composure count as a focus?
Sure.
Hand-to-hand
Considering
combat is the
she's used
first
to
thing they
pulling
teach you.
G's, can I argue early 21st century military aircraft?
No.
It was worth a shot.
Hand-to-hand combat, as the first thing they teach you is how to fall down.
Take a threat.
No. Taking a threat.
Have your threat.
Fail. One threat generated. 2 threat generated. Okay, we're waiting for Edwards and perfect. Wow, that's one momentum generated. Last one is Kelly.
You know what? I'll go ahead and burn 3 momentum for 2 extra dice.
All right.
You.
Oh wow.
Oh!
Oh
If you
dear.
didn't get that extra die,
Okay, but you know what? Is that a pass or a fail?
That is a fail. I'm sorry, that's a pass.
Okay. I'll keep it. I mean, yeah.
complications are fun.
Yeah.
Right? I am going to go ahead and have Hagen and Woodyard. I need you to roll 3 challenge dice for me.
No.
Nice try. That only works when Jack does it.
Oh, look at you two working so well together.
All right. Hagen and Woodyard. Hagen, you take 2 stress. Woodyard, you take 4 stress. You both hit your heads hard on the floor. Kelly, you get you don't take damage, but you get thrown over the table, and the table in this meeting room breaks. Somehow it cushions your fall. The rest of you just sort of hang on for dear life. Strasser and Detrall get thrown to the floor. Lieutenant Mitchell does a backflip and then lands on her feet. All hands action stations.
Am I bleeding?
You are bleeding, yes.
Okay.
I didn't spill my
Nick's gonna
drink.
Nick's gonna help Kestra up. As I, well, this was short-lived. Let's go, people.
Yes, sir.
Saoirse, get Titan.
Why am I controlling Titan?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm right here.
Where are we heading? Bridge?
Action
To
stations,
our
yeah.
various stations, yeah.
No,
In
to
fact, all of us
Candyland.
work on the bridge.
Alert sirens blare. As y'all walk onto the bridge, Commander Sheev looks up at you, Captain, and says, "Captain, we were about to head into an area of immense subspace interference. I just had enough time to call brace. Our warp is, yes, it's down. If you will all direct your attention over to the USS Guan Yu sheet, you will find a breach to your engines. You have done the equivalent of running, of
You hit a pothole.
going over a pothole and then hydroplaning at 120 miles an hour and almost crashing the ship. You slam into real space, and Lieutenant Mitchell immediately relieves whoever's down, and she goes, "Oh, okay, we have a lot of momentum here." Oh. You see her fingers are playing right across the computer. All right, I gotta calm down. Sir, our warp core is fine. I don't think we're going to be able to generate a warp field. We're 12 hours away at full impulse.
Okay. How the hell did that sneak up on us? Fairly certain our sensors are top of the line and likely incredibly modified.
Lieutenant Woodyard, go ahead and give me a reason science roll, difficulty 2. Difficulty 1.
Hold on. Difficulty 1.
Yep.
Nice. Any focuses?
Sensor operations.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my
Nice.
god, enough!
Look.
Oh.
This is why I just sit down and tell other people to do things.
100%. Lieutenant Woodyard, this area of space has become, within the past, you would think 2 minutes, has become as turbulent as it has now. This is not an old phenomenon. This just occurred within the past couple of minutes. The active sensor screen that y'all set up is for it points stuff out that's 5 minutes away, and it occurred within that time.
Can I use a momentum to check the sensors to see what actions have changed on the ship to maybe create the circumstances around our ship?
You do get a free science officer question. I will say that nothing on your ship caused this entity to occur, this anomaly to occur. What has caused it is, you can see it plain as day on your sensors, a massive. Where's Rex?
You have to stop what you're doing.
Shut up! There has been a massive rupture in both real and subspace. Some sort of tear in the fabric of reality has expanded to the point where this area is becoming very, very similar to an area back in the Alpha Quadrant, that it's just an area that you just can't generate a stable warp field in.
Okay.
Your variable warp geometry has taken you so deep into the Shackleton Expanse, and without it, you wouldn't have been able to get past Vanguard. This is where it hits its limit. Just simply, subspace is so turbulent and so damaged in this area that warp is not possible.
Okay. I'm sure you'll tell me whether this is possible or not, so I'm just going to go for it.
Well,
I want to. I'm going to give an update to the bridge, but immediately after that, I want to take current scans and compare them to previous scans, and if we've already scanned this far, which I'm not sure if we have or not, or if we have been able to or not. And I want to map new geography coordinates, or new coordinates to the center of the anomaly.
Okay. I will take a moment. Your destination has not changed. It's just gotten bigger. So to the center of the anomaly, you guys are still heading there. What I will say, now that you're closer with those advanced sensor suites, I will tell you this. There is a tear in the middle of a star system.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. To the middle of the what?
Of a star system that's
Star.
deep in the Shackleton Expanse. There's a couple of planets orbiting around a binary star system.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So inside of a star system, this entity is expanding and expanding and expanding.
Could stars be a focus for these tears? Okay. I do want to also scan to see if there's any signs of technology or existence or life on the planets in that solar system. But I understand that's going to take time and stuff like that. So.
That would be a separate role once you get closer.
Yeah. Understood.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. I turn to the captain. I say, Captain, there's a new tear forming in the expanse. The anomaly has grown in size, and there is a rip through one of the solar systems, scanning it now for life forms.
Is that what do you think? Now look over at Kestra. Normal subspace tear from this entire fucked up area, or the tear we're looking for?
I'm going to ask right now, is
do any kind of psychic activity?
Yeah, I was going to ask, is psionic shielding active at this point?
At
No,
this
right?
point, no.
Okay.
You can't
What
use
exact-
warp fields warp fields, right? If we use it, we can't use warp.
We can't
That
use
is
warp
cool.
anyway right now.
And to be fair, no one else on the bridge knows
No,
that
it's-
it's
yeah.
there.
Hagen, tell me exactly what you're looking
I'm gonna sense and go in. Okay, so I've been wanting to do this for a bit. Have I been cleared by my doctor for psychic activity?
for. Spend 2 momentum and I'll allow it.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to say, wait one moment, close my eyes, and I want to go, like, not exactly go to the ocean of consciousness, but just draw on that power as I reach out and see if this feels the same as the tear that's in that place.
Close your eyes. You see a flash of the ocean, a flash of your father's face. Give me 1 second. They're here. You feel them. They are on their way to the plane that you are on right now. You feel them attempting to cross, and a frustration combined with anticipation that they are almost free and almost out.
Is this the tear that we're looking for, or is this just a tear?
100% the tear you're looking for.
It's
All right. Good. Cool. I'm assuming
They're
damage
almost-
reports. Nope. Go ahead.
We're almost out.
Well, they're gonna have to hold on to for at least 12 hours. Sarah, get us moving. Woodyard, keep active scans on it. I'm assuming damage reports and medical reports are coming in.
Yeah, Creighton calls up and says, "Yeah, sir. We have warp power. It's just a matter of trying to build a stable warp field with this geometry. I'm trying every nacelle adjustment that I can. You see a rear camera of the nacelles just going crazy. And you hear like the revving of the warp engine as we're trying to generate a field that works. It's no dice, sir. I don't want to overload the engines in their state right now."
That's fine. We'll take her in at impulse. Save the power for something important.
Okay.
Well, this is it.
All right. Hagen, the last thing you feel before I end the session tonight is, unbidden by your attempt, you get a flash. A beam of black and purple energy is you're for a moment you feel their presence, the Varonk's presence behind you in a space between worlds. And you see a small planet, a lancing beam of energy hitting the door. it's coming from a planet. And that's where we're going to end tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I want everybody to be prepared for next session. Next session is going to be when it all happens. We are at a precipice, and how we land is going to determine how this thing ends. See you next time.
Woo!